I've got a sanity corner. I'm not petty well, I'm petty, but I'm going to...
Oh, that's okay. I have 2 petties this
Okay,
week.
good. I've got a sanity corner. I am an evangelist about this show now. Like, after Succession ended, I think a lot of us had to settle into this new disappointing reality that the era of peak content hasn't necessarily produced peak quality shows. There's a lot of shit out there, and even shows that should be better than they are not very good. True Detective ruins Christmas. I'm looking at you. That's what I'm just. That's what we call True Detective.
Not into Feud yet.
Yeah.
Like Feud, the first 2 episodes of Feud were like kind of disappointing. Truman Capote and the Swans. I was expecting more.
From Ryan Murphy? I
know.
I expect nothing. I expect it to be a territorial.
It's Naomi. It's Callista.
Yeah.
Chloe Sevigny.
Yeah. I feel as though that creator, whatever. I'm never going to work in this town again. I feel like that creator does this kind of like territorial pissing over really interesting subject matter, and other people who would be better at covering it don't get a chance to do it because he has already like lifted his leg and peed all over it. And it's just...
Good point.
It's such good subject matter, and it's so... I'm disappointed that it was him that got to do it, because it should have been somebody else.
I made you swerve out of the Sandy lane.
But no, this contributes to my point that I'm making. Is it is rare that a show meets or exceeds expectations, and I have found a show that is better than anything else I've seen since Succession ended. It is on Netflix. It's called The Brother's Son, and it is fucking astonishing. It is so good.
Why will I love it?
You won't love it, Alyssa. If you love Michelle Yeoh, you might love it.
Love Michelle Yeoh.
Okay, first of all, it was filmed in the San Gabriel Valley for the most part.
Okay.
Which is really cool because there's and like Chinatown in LA. So it's a very LA San Gabriel Valley show. It is about 2 brothers who are from a crime family that operates out of Taipei, who get thrown back together in LA after years of being apart. One of the brothers is like a certified badass, like fighting dude, criminal, like weapon
I'm looking
type
this up.
dude.
I might be into this.
Yeah, well, the fighting brother is extremely handsome, so that also contributes to a lot of people enjoying the show. But it is, so the brother from Taipei goes back to L.A. to protect his mother, who's played by Michelle Yeoh, and he has a brother who's back in L.A. who is kind of a soft boy, and trouble follows them. And it is so good. It is so funny. I have not watched a show that made me laugh this hard. There is one scene, I'm not going to give any spoilers, in an early episode where there is a fight at a child's birthday party involving a bunch of ninjas in those inflatable dinosaur costumes. And I was laughing so hard that I almost started crying. So there's a lot of like really incredibly choreographed fight scenes. There's a lot of emotional resonance. There's Michelle Yeoh, who is like just
love,
astonishingly good. It is so much fun. I only have 2 episodes left, and I'm like sad.
Savoring them?
Yeah.
You're like, I have to be in the absolute perfect headspace to watch this. I can't be interrupted. I have to take it all in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a lot of violence. So if you don't have a stomach for violence and some very gory moments, you might be there. It's not like gory. It's not like casino gory. It's not like drawn out torture violence.
It's just like some violence.
You'll have a flash of some pretty like, whoa, that guy, what did they do to that guy's head? You know, like, but you only see it for like a second.
That's okay. That's acceptable to me.
The jokes are really funny. The world is really funny. It's shot beautifully. It almost feels like watching like a graphic novel. And it's just like so good. Every character has something about them that is like feels very fresh and unique. And I love it. I recommend anybody, like the only like pause I would tell people to take is it's definitely not for kids. Because it is like it's a violent show, but it's not Tarantino violent. You know, it's like a light.
Okay, that's like a very good qualifier.
Yeah, it's like a light R violence. You know, but yeah, it's great. I absolutely love it. It was created by Brian Wu and Brad Falchuk, and it's really, really good. So I recommend it to everybody. Also, there's a lot of jokes at the expense of improv, just like the practice of improv, and there's so many jokes about it, but they keep being funny, and I just truly love it. So that's my Sanity Corner for this week. Alyssa, you got some petties, huh?
I'm feeling so petty about a couple things. One, As soon as I read this, I immediately sent it to you. It was the People magazine article about how Alzheimer's disease might be partially caused by nose picking.
Okay.
Now, and you tamped me down because you were like, no, Alyssa, let me tell you. Here's why I think this is petty. Here's why I am petty about this, though. It is like cold and flu season. We're all just trying to hang on. And by hang on, I mean last week specifically when I logged on to record this show with you, I was like, hold on, I have a booger that's about to fall out of my nose. I cannot worry about everything on the planet, including whether or not getting an errant boog out of my nose is going to catapult me into Alzheimer's. Like, this is just not. I can't right now. I just can't with this. They should have done it. I mean, I know allergy season comes soon, but I just felt like I just got over COVID. It hung on with me for a really long time. And I was like, oh, great. Terrific. Thank you now for this night terror that I will wake up at 2 a.m. thinking about when I go to get my tissue. And then it's just going to get awkward. Sometimes you just need to take your finger and flick the booger out of your nose. Now I'm like dampening towels and trying to finesse things. It's like,
look, Alyssa, we had Kat Bohannon on earlier in the show. I got to talk to her.
Yes.
And
that was wonderful.
It sounds like she would say something like, if we weren't supposed to pick our nose, why do our fingers fit up there?
Yes. You quieted my brain on this yesterday when you were like,
it's like we're getting
Alyssa,
Alzheimer's because of DuPont Chemical Company and all of the poison in our food.
There are a million other reasons.
Yes, it's not because you picked your nose.
In a world where everything is really too much to handle, that was just a brick my load couldn't bear when it came out.
I'm just going to say this. It wasn't until I moved to the great American West that I understood the phenomenon of desert boogers. When there is very low humidity, there is no amount of blowing that will dislodge some of those boogers. They
the ones up here.
They form like you need to pick them out because otherwise they're just going to stay in there for like a presidential administration. They're going to be in there for years and years. So, look, I guess I would rather experience a small amount of cognitive decline than live with permanent desert boogers.
See, okay, so I agree with that. And here's the other thing I feel petty about.
Okay.
I don't know how many hundreds of years I have watched Law and Order, and nobody needs to like comment in Discord or anything about propaganda. I'm like adult enough to know like right from wrong.
Oh, Kara Klenk, who are one of our panelists on the show, does a whole podcast about Law and Order, and she is extremely not susceptible to propaganda.
But here's my thing. Sam Waterston, ADA, district attorney, all the roles he has covered on his tenure in the show. Sam Waterston is a fucking curmudgeon. He's been a curmudgeon since he was in his 30s. Well, as if I needed one more thing to worry about this week, he's retiring. And Tony Goldwyn is taking his place. Tony Goldwyn, he is.
I like Tony Goldwyn.
Okay, Erin, he is
a great supporter of liberal causes in Hollywood.
He is. I give him that. Personally, yes. 1, he is like Tommy Vitor's doppelganger. I don't need that in my life.
No, I didn't. I've never thought of that before, and now it's going to haunt me.
I'm 100% correct.
You're not
they
wrong.
Are doppelgangers.
You're not wrong, and that's why I'm so mad. Like, what?
So that's number 1.
Okay.
And 2, as Fitzpatrick Grant on Scandal, the man was too emotional to lead. I know that's the whole point of Scandal, but I need my district attorney to have his shit together, and Tony's going to have to prove to me that he can. Because right now, this feels like square peg, round hole. Despite my affection for Tony Goldwyn, I've even seen him on Broadway. I love him, but this is just not correct to me, and I will need to be proved wrong.
Okay, fair enough.
And now, let everybody just go look at Pod Save America and tell me you do not see that Tommy and Tony are separated at birth.
Oh my God. This is, I don't like
this. A compliment to both of them.
Yes, but I didn't need, I don't like.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like seeing my friends and thinking about celebrities. It's too. Okay. All right. Well, those are 2 exceptionally petty things. Boogers and Law and Order.
Thank you.